Next News. Breaking news.
JPMorgan Executive Director of Community and Industry Engagement dumped a full public trash can onto a Manhattan sidewalk so she could steal the blue and orange Knicks bin for herself. Then Angie Báez hauled it onto the subway and posed with it like she had just won a trophy. That image is the whole DEI era in one filthy frame. Not service, not merit, not discipline, entitlement with a corporate title. JPMorgan only moved after millions of normal Americans saw the clip and laughed them into action. And once you hear what New York Sanitation called the stunt, the humiliation gets even better. See, the story matters because millions of Americans know this racket in their bones. They worked harder, studied longer, played by the rules, and still watched the giant corporations like JPMorgan hand prestige jobs to ideology-first mediocrites wrapped in fashionable HR language. Angie Báez did not just make a mess at a parade. She ripped the mask off an entire hiring regime. Her title was Executive Director. Her portfolio included community and industry engagement. Her prior work included diversity, equity, and inclusion. Then she trashed the community in broad daylight to swipe a souvenir that retailed for $168. That's not just bad judgment. That is a character reveal backed by a corporate culture that prized optics over excellence. New York Sanitation crushed her stunt as illegal, antisocial, and incredibly stupid. Good. Under President Trump, the age of untouchable institutional fraud keeps on cracking. The deep state got hit in government. Now the same sunlight is blasting corporate America. One firing does not clean out the machine, but it proves the machine can bleed. See, Angie Báez, she dumped a city trash can for a cheap souvenir. And that kind of elite short-term thinking wrecks people. See, I look at money the opposite way. Noble Gold Investments keeps hammering the point. See, that the point that suits ignore. Silver as the next oil. Think about buying oil before the world ran on it. It's a critical resource in solar panels, electric vehicles, defense systems, AI infrastructure, and massive data centers. That means growing demand for the metal the future depends on, and it's still affordable enough that the average American can start accumulating physical silver now to protect against inflation and gain exposure to strategic resources. Go to nextnewsgold.com and mention my name. With a new qualified account, Noble Gold can send you a 1/10 ounce gold coin. While the DEI class chased props, serious Americans can stack real assets. Now here's the detail that turns this from funny to perfect. Angie Báez did not torch her career over some priceless collector's item. People found the same 2026 Champions Edition sanitation basket online for $168. $168. That's the price tag hanging around the neck of a six-figure corporate vanity job that JPMorgan stuffed into its DEI bureaucracy. Oh, I'm going to show you the receipts because the internet spotted exactly what the bank tried to hide for years. See, it was never about excellence. It was about a protected class with executive badges. Fox News posting this, a JPMorgan DEI executive emptied a full trash can into the street during the Knicks championship parade. Now she's out of a job. Yeah. What are you doing? So after the New York Post contacted JPMorgan about the incident, the company confirmed she's no longer employed. She wasn't the only one causing chaos in the city. Fans climbed on cars, trucks, and anything else they could find to celebrate. So the viral parade clip, it cost her job. Now we put the name and the face to it. Angie Báez, the longtime DEI executive who allegedly hauled the Knicks trash can onto the subway. Publius writes, retard update. During the Knicks championship parade, a woman dumped a full public trash can on the NYC sidewalk to steal the limited edition blue and orange Knicks bin and then rides the subway home with it. She's Angie Báez, a longtime DEI executive, promoted to executive director at JPMorgan, previously DEI lead at the Infatuation. JPMorgan fired her after the video went mega viral. NYC sanitation called it illegal, antisocial, and incredibly stupid. The irony is actually insane. Was firing her justified or overkill for a stupid souvenir heist? So now you know who Angie Báez is and how JPMorgan responded. Next, the internet turns the whole fiasco into a brutal side-by-side meme. Trash on the sidewalk and cash out the door. Leftist moron stealing a trash can after the Knicks win. Leftist moron losing a six-figure DEI position at JPMorgan Chase. What a moron. So the meme makes the point fast. One dumb stunt. Six-figure career gone. Next up, a creator walks through the full timeline from the street dump to the firing and the sanitation backlash.
Full story of 40-year-old Angie Báez, the DEI hire, DEI, never beating the allegations, who was fired from her executive role at JPMorgan for stealing a Knicks trash can, dumping the trash out on the street, getting on the train, and then posing for a picture. Shameless. So this is her role at JPMorgan. She was promoted more than a year ago to Executive Director of Community and Industry Engagement, and that's for card and connected commerce. Now get this, this is her prior DEI work. She served as an Executive Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Infatuation, which is a NYC restaurant review media company that was acquired by Chase. She had a public professional presence, emphasis on public presence, right? Tied to community engagement and DEI initiative, right? So obviously this video went super viral, racking up millions of views. And then, of course, after an investigation by Chase, right, they fired her, right, after they could identify her, right? And a company spokesperson confirmed that this employee is no longer working for JPMorgan and Chase. On top of that, the NYC sanitation, right, they came out after her, saying they condemned it, right, saying it was illegal and antisocial, right? There's been no formal complaints filed, so no charges.
So you got the blow by blow, how the parade stunt turned into a corporate embarrassment. Now watch the internet mockery go even harder with a garbage pail kid style takedown. Trashy Trisha. Oh my goodness. Remember Garbage Pail Kids? Oh man. I had the whole collection. Oh man, those were great. Garbage Pail Kids. Trashy Trisha. Perfect. So from the viral scandal straight up parody, the ridicule kept coming, but the next clip takes the bigger question. How does someone with this background end up at the top slot at JPMorgan? JPMorgan hiring her with this resume is a bigger crime than her dumping the trash on the sidewalk. Okay, what did she do? Should we look at her resume? Managed cross-departmental projects from inception to completion with emphasis on timely delivery, responsible for technical program management, optimized cross-department communication, partnered with Q&A team to deliver technical documentation, trained hundreds of new hires, contributed as art director for One Hope First mobile app, lead designer, illustrator, worked closely with the executive team to formulate, organize, execute interconnected projects. Thank you for your consideration. Yep, you're going to have to update your resume now, Angie. So JPMorgan hired a DEI executive with an associate degree in art. White men with master's degree in advanced subjects can't even get jobs after being locked out. Our largest companies and our government in the U.S. are at open war with white people. So the frustration is obvious. Merit shoved aside for ideology. Next reaction cranks it up on the salary and the art degree. This fat slob was making $300,000 a year, hired by JPMorgan with an art degree. So the criticism moves from identity politics to pure dollars and cents. Next, we go back to the receipts, including the subway photo with the Knicks trash bucket in tow. Here she is, on the subway with the trash bucket. On the subway home. What makes it even more ridiculous is the next detail. She could have just bought one of these baskets for $168. Hope it was worth it. The New York City collection, home waste basket, 2026 Champion Edition, $168. How stupid. $168 souvenir, and instead it turned into a public humiliation. Next, fallout gets more concrete because losing JPMorgan's job wasn't the only penalty she got hit with. In addition to losing her job, She was hit with $175 worth of fines. The fines. She could have, with what her fines are, she could have bought the damn basket. The Department of Sanitation confirmed she turned over the stolen goods herself and fined her for $75 for littering and $100 for impeding operations. Welcome back. They got it back. Oh, my goodness. No household trash, no business trash. $100 fine. We missed you. So it wasn't just termination. City Sanitation added fines and got the basket. Next, Greg Gutfeld takes the mess and turns it into a broadside against the DEI machine itself on the 5.
How thrilled is JPMorgan Chase?
Yes.
They were able to fire a DEI person.
Yeah.
You can never get rid of these people. You get this film, a clear-cut case for canning her. They obviously she was dead weight, a DEI hire that fails upward through the DEI bureaucracy, which is a system created for its own survival. You cannot fire them. They are bulletproof. Businesses have found out that it's easy to hire them, but impossible to fire them. She ticks a box, and if you dare discipline or fire them, you will be called racist, and they will sue. So you can't judge them on their competence. All you can do is just pour the money into that big gaping mouth of hers. This is a video that saved their human resources a ton of money. How many companies saw this and were like, why did we send our entire DEI department to the parade? We should next parade tell the DEI department they're not going to be working anyway because she wasn't at work.
Dead weight indeed. So the peak insult sits right there in the picture from the subway car. She smiles beside the stolen Knicks trash basket after dumping a full can of garbage onto the street. She posed with the evidence. No shame, no urgency to clean up what she wrecked. Just the smug grin of somebody trained by the corporate DEI culture to think consequences belong to other people. JPMorgan didn't get blindsided by one bad afternoon. JPMorgan built the conditions for it when it promoted ideology and called it leadership. New York Sanitation nailed it better than any consultant ever could. Illegal, antisocial, and incredibly stupid. That line belongs on the tombstone of the entire DEI corporate class. Not because one executive got caught, but because one executive got caught acting exactly like the system that elevated her. So celebrate the firing. It was overdue. Celebrate the fines too. Angie Báez got hit for $75 for littering, $100 for impeding operations, and she turned the stolen bin over herself. Fine, good. But do not let JPMorgan pretend the cleanup ends there. Jamie Dimon runs a bank that helped normalize this ideology-first nonsense across corporate America, and one viral embarrassment does not erase years of sidelining qualified people while the DEI priesthood cashed checks. The Trump administration keeps proving that protected bureaucrats and institutional freeloaders are not immortal. Voters broke the regime in Washington, and now consumers and viewers are breaking it in the boardrooms. Keep naming names. Keep sharing clips like this and force every company that played this game to explain who got passed over, who got paid, and who lowered the standard. A woman stole a trash can in New York. The country saw a hiring system getting dragged to the curb. But I don't want you to miss out on what's important. And that's why I set up this number. 844-840-4963. Thousands and thousands of patriots have already texted the words raw feed. They're getting the inside scoop when the notifications never arrive from YouTube. Why? Because I'm sending them direct to your phone. Get on the list. Make sure you stay on the inside track with the Next News Network. And let's celebrate all these wins by celebrating America 250 together. Go to the merch shelf below this video or go to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. Truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.